This is Michael Gerace with Michelangelos Services Inc. It is April 9th, 2026. We're located at 1577 Glenbrock Lane, Thousand Oaks, California, 91320. We're performing a video waste line and sewer line inspection through the 2-inch ABS plastic vent pipe on the roof. We were unable to locate a mainline sewer clean out on the property. This is going out toward the street. I'm going to set our camera right at the opening of the 2-inch ABS plastic vent pipe. I'm going to zero out our camera monitor real quick. We're going to begin running through. So we are in an ABS plastic vent stack now, running down toward the waste line. Okay, we're making a turn, and now we're increasing. Can't really tell for sure whether it's 3-inch or 4-inch ABS plastic, but it is plastic, and that's always a good sign. We have plastic, we don't have nearly as many issues, and looks like we have a fitting there. That's a transition fitting coming from one of the fixtures into the waste line. Now we're pushing out toward the front of the house. There's some little critters crawling in the pipe, which is common. That's why we have P-traps and such in sinks, and we have a P-trap built into the toilet. Keeps all that out, keeps the sewer gases out that can be toxic coming from the city sewer. Okay, now we got another fitting here at 36 feet out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run all the way out, and then we're going to pull back to this 36-foot mark. We may be just outside the house now, and there may be a buried clean out there possibly. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at that area later. So we're at 36 feet, pushing out toward the street now. Probably going to have a long length of pipe, more than likely about 20-foot length. Then we should come up to a coupling at about 56 feet probably, somewhere right in that area. It all depends if they cut anything. There we go, 56 feet. So now we're in the driveway area. We got a coupling there. So far all the ABS plastic pipe and fittings appear to be in fair and maintainable condition, which is about as good as it gets when it's been used in an older pipe. It's pretty decent. ABS plastic should last. We don't even know for sure. Some people say 250 years. How they came up with that number, I don't know. But plastic does not deteriorate. So the likelihood that you're going to have an issue with the plastic is slim. Okay, we do have some major root intrusion. Major root intrusion right here. So we had something that may not have been put together properly. It looks like the test plug, very possibly, right here. And quite often, for whatever reason, they don't cap the test plug real well when they're done testing the line, and we get roots growing down into there. But we're going to go down. We're going to locate this area at 75 feet. So we're going to pause for a moment, locate this area. Put our locator on. Okay, we located this area out by the large tree next to the sidewalk area, and we marked it with an orange flag. We're at about 7 feet deep. Looks like we got the area cleared. I think they're very fine roots. They're very fine roots, because it went right through pretty easy, which is good. So I'm going to push out the rest of the way into the city sewer. And I'm going to shut our water down, let it subside, and then we'll take a look at the line all the way back. That's our saddle fitting, and that's the city sewer. So we're going to go ahead and pause now at about 101 feet, and then we'll take a look. going to pause right here. Okay, we're going to shut our locator off for a moment. This is the city sewer. And that's our saddle fitting right here. It appears that we do have PVC. That's the city sewer. We're hanging into the city sewer right there. Now the fitting we're coming back in is a saddle fitting. This is the city sewer connection from the property owner's piping in the street to the city sewer. You own the entire lateral in the street up to this point, up to the connection. I'm going to pause right there. We're going to locate this area in the street and just put a dot of pink paint. So we're going to pause for another moment. Okay, we marked this area out. We're going to take our locator off. Mark this area out in the street. This is the Y connection to the saddle fitting at the city sewer. And we are at approximately 10 feet deep. I believe we were 10 feet 2 inches deep. I'm going to pull back now. We're in green, appears to be green SDR plastic sewer piping from what we can see. Has a green tint to it, but it could also be just PVC. Kind of hard to tell sometimes. We're going to continue to pull back. Take a look at the joints on the way back. Then we'll take a look at the other area where we had the root intrusion. See what it looks like now that we've run water. Probably cleared the roots off of there. I think the roots are finer roots. We're coming up to it now. You can see it. And there's a pretty good little root cluster right there, which is going to catch paper and cause issues. And sure enough, that's the saddle, excuse me, that is the T fitting. It's the test T. So that is right up underneath the tree. And that test T, if the tree's removed, this can be excavated. More than likely, we can pop the cap on that test T and just pull the roots out of there by hand. I believe they're just coming down from the top. Coming down from the top and growing into the pipe. Now that can also be taken care of with a chemical called Root X that will burn those roots back up into the T a little bit. It's not going to solve the problem because you can't get them out of the T, but you can maintain it with Root X for a good period of time. The only way to resolve it though is to excavate that T and then cap it properly. That's probably what happened. Is they didn't put the proper cap on it, they didn't put it on properly, whatever they did, and the roots grew in. The rest of the line, from what I can see, all appears to be in fair and maintainable condition, which is decent condition. We're going to pull back now. We're going to pull back to the house, and we did see a fitting right at the house. That's a coupling right there on the way out to the city sewer from the house. I believe we were at about 36 feet. We're going to locate this area and see if we can find anything, maybe down below the ground level a little bit. If it's just below grade, I might be able to locate it. If not, we can mark it, and they might not have brought this clean out up to grade is what it is. So we're going to pause right there for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we located a clean out that was right by the bush up against the house. It was covered up. So I moved some leaves and I moved some dirt, and that's exposed now. So we're going to continue to pull back. It has a sewer popper on it, which is good. If anything were to back up in the line past that point going out toward the street, it's going to raise that popper up and it would come out in the driveway instead of backing up into the house. Now we're pulling back toward our vent. There's an inlet from one of the fixtures, and now we're coming up our vent. It's gonna be hard to see anything because we generally have a lot of water hanging off the camera lens. So from that point you can't really see too much as we're pulling our camera back out the vent. Now we'll conclude our video waistline and sewer line inspection from the 2-inch vent on the roof.